Hello. The house is perfectly still. The world outside is dark and silent. You look at the clock and the glowing numbers read 3:07 a.m. and you are completely, frustratingly awake. Perhaps your heart is beating a little faster. Soon your mind begins to race, replaying events from the day, worrying about tomorrow. A peaceful return to sleep feels like a distant fantasy. This experience is extraordinarily common. It is a silent epidemic of sleep disruption. And for years, we have given ourselves simple and ultimately incorrect explanations. We say, "I'm just stressed," or "it must be something I ate," or "I guess this is just part of getting older." We might even blame a weak bladder. But what if I told you these are not root causes? What if they are merely the downstream consequences of a precise and predictable biochemical drama unfolding within your body while you sleep? What if this 3 a.m. awakening is not random at all, but is in fact a critical and merciful distress signal that you must learn to interpret? My name is Professor Marcus Fischer. For the next 20 minutes, we are going to embark on a deep dive into the full science of this phenomenon. We will put the myths to rest and build a complete understanding from the ground up of what is truly happening. And by the end, you will not only understand the why, but you will possess a clear, actionable protocol for the how to fix it. Part 2, the foundation, how your body manages energy overnight. To understand why your energy system fails in the middle of the night, we must first appreciate how it is designed to work. The most energy-demanding organ in your body is your brain. While it only represents about 2% of your body weight, it consumes a massive 20% of your total energy, and your brain demands a constant, stable supply of its preferred fuel, glucose. Your body operates in two primary states. The fed state, which occurs after you eat a meal. Here, energy is abundant. The hormone insulin is high, directing the glucose from your food into your cells for immediate use. But when you go to sleep, you enter the fasted state. There is no new food coming in for many hours. Insulin levels fall. How then does your brain get the steady stream of glucose it needs to function all night long? The responsibility for this critical task falls to one heroic organ, your liver. Throughout the day, when you eat carbohydrates, your liver takes the excess glucose from your blood and carefully stores it in a special form called glycogen. Think of liver glycogen as a biological, slow-release energy capsule or a rechargeable battery designed specifically to power your brain through the night. A healthy liver can easily store enough glycogen to last for 8, 10, even 12 hours, slowly trickling out glucose into the bloodstream to keep your brain stable and happy while you sleep. This is the system working in perfect harmony. Part 3, the root of the problem, a failing battery. The 3 a.m. awakening is a direct result of this elegant system failing. The battery is dying prematurely. The question is, why? There are two primary reasons, and they are both rooted in the metabolic dysfunction we so often discuss on this channel. The first and most significant reason is insulin resistance. When your diet is chronically high in sugar and refined carbohydrates, your body is forced to produce massive amounts of insulin day after day. Over time, your cells, and particularly your liver cells, begin to ignore the signal of this overworked hormone. They become resistant to it. A major consequence of this is a condition called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, or NAFLD. When the liver cells are resistant to insulin, they can no longer effectively store glycogen. Instead, the liver begins to convert excess sugar into fat, triglycerides, and stores this fat inside itself. This leads to the double whammy that cripples your overnight energy supply. First, a liver that is congested and clogged with fat has significantly less physical space to store its glycogen battery. The fat is literally taking up the room where your energy reserves should be. Second, a body that runs on a high-carb diet becomes what we call a sugar burner. It is metabolically inflexible, meaning it is very poor at switching over to use fat for fuel. It is highly dependent on a constant supply of glucose. This inefficiency means it burns through its already limited glycogen stores much faster. The analogy is this. You are heading into the night with a phone that has a damaged, low-capacity battery. And to make matters worse, The apps you are running are all energy hogs, draining that small battery at an accelerated rate. A crash in the middle of the night is not a possibility. It is a mathematical certainty. Part 4. The biochemical chain reaction, the cortisol spike. Now let's walk through the precise chain of events as they happen, deep in the night. Sometime around 2 or 3 in the morning, your damaged and depleted liver runs out of glycogen. The slow trickle of glucose into your bloodstream stops. Your blood sugar begins to fall. This state is called hypoglycemia. Your brain, ever vigilant, senses this drop immediately. To the brain, a lack of fuel is a 5-alarm fire. It is a primary threat to survival. It does not know that you are safe in your bed. It only knows that its fuel supply is crashing. It hits the panic button. This panic button sends an emergency signal to your adrenal glands, which sit atop your kidneys. The command is simple. Raise blood sugar at all costs, now. In response, your adrenal glands release their emergency response team. These are your powerful counter-regulatory hormones, and their names are cortisol and adrenaline. These stress hormones are life-saving. Cortisol immediately signals the body to begin a process called gluconeogenesis. This is a destructive but effective process where your body breaks down its own protein tissue from your muscles to convert into glucose to send to the brain. Adrenaline further assists by rapidly releasing any last vestiges of glucose from the muscles and liver. They are saving your brain from a fuel crisis. But here is the crucial side effect. While cortisol and adrenaline are raising your blood sugar, they are also your wake-up and fight-a-tiger hormones. Their job is to put you in a state of high alert. They spike your heart rate. They increase your blood pressure. They shunt blood to your limbs. And they switch your brain from a restful sleep state into an active, vigilant, problem-solving state. And that is the moment you wake up. You did not wake up from stress. You woke up into a state of stress that was biochemically manufactured by your own body to save you from a low blood sugar event, all because your liver's battery failed. Part 5. The holistic solution, a two-pronged strategy. Now that we have built this complete picture, the solution becomes clear and logical. We need a two-pronged strategy, a long-term plan to fix the root cause, and a short-term tactic to get you through the night right away. The long-term strategy is about healing your liver and reversing insulin resistance. First, you must change your diet. You must drastically reduce your intake of the foods that cause this problem: sugar, refined flours, and processed carbohydrates. By replacing them with high-quality proteins, healthy fats, and fiber-rich vegetables, you lower your insulin levels and reduce the workload on your liver, allowing it to begin offloading stored fat. Second, consider intermittent fasting. Giving your body a 14 to 16-hour break from eating each day is a powerful tool. It keeps insulin low for a prolonged period and encourages your body to become metabolically flexible, training it to efficiently switch to burning fat for fuel, which preserves your precious glycogen stores. Third, support your liver with key nutrients. Choline, which is abundant in egg yolks, is critical for helping the liver export fat. Certain herbs like milk thistle have also been studied for their liver protective effects, which you can discuss with your doctor. Now for the short-term strategy, the tactical bridge you can use tonight. The goal is to provide a slow-burning fuel source that can take over when your glycogen runs out. This should not be a carbohydrate snack, as that would spike your insulin right before bed. Instead, about an hour before sleep, consider a small snack that is composed almost entirely of fat and protein. A single tablespoon of almond butter, a small handful of walnuts or pecans, or a small piece of high-quality cheese. These foods are digested very slowly and provide a steady release of fuel that can prevent the dramatic blood sugar crash, thereby preventing the cortisol and adrenaline alarm from ever being pulled. Finally, managing your daytime stress and getting bright morning sunlight exposure can also help to properly regulate your natural cortisol rhythm, ensuring it is low at night when it is supposed to be. Part 6. Conclusion. The merciful message. Let us recap the full chain of events. A diet high in processed carbs leads to insulin resistance. Insulin resistance leads to a fatty, dysfunctional liver. A fatty liver cannot store enough glycogen to last the night. This leads to a low blood sugar event or hypoglycemia while you sleep. Your brain senses this as a threat and triggers a massive release of the stress hormones cortisol and adrenaline to save you. And it is this life-saving hormonal surge that violently wakes you from your sleep. The 3 a.m. awakening is not a random annoyance. It is a merciful message. It is your body's check engine light flashing brightly to warn you that your entire metabolic system is under immense strain. To simply take a pill to go back to sleep is like putting a piece of black tape over that warning light on your car's dashboard. You have silenced the message, but you have ignored the engine failure. This is a predictable problem, and because it is predictable, it is also fixable. You now have the full story, you understand the why, and you have a clear plan for the how. In our next video, we will do a deep dive into the master mineral, magnesium, and its profound role in sleep, anxiety, and metabolic health. Thank you for your time. I invite you to share your experience in the comments below. What time do you wake up? You will find you are not alone. And please remember to consult your physician. This is an educational deep dive, not medical advice.